Smithy TV to the Meltdown. I'm JJ Lieberman. I'm very excited to have my guest today in from Toronto as well.
Yeah, man, in
from Toronto, Ben Miner, at Ben Miner. You can follow him on Twitter. Yeah, we got the good. We have a live in studio audience.
It's crazy.
Of one, but no, I first just get right into it. The first couple times I saw you was based around the Sirius XM Next Top Comic you were hosting. I saw you at the Rivoli, but the finale was at Just for Laughs 42. If you just want to get into the whole process from even how it started, I thought it was a cool, you got to go all over Canada for this.
It's a sweet gig, man. I help run Canada Laughs Sirius XM 168.
Yeah.
And it's pretty badass. Yeah. It's the best gig in the world as a comic, right?
Right.
I can honestly say that the channel is the home of Canadian comedy. Our CanCon is almost at 100% every day. It's 95, 96%. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're always looking to, promote and show Canada just the talent that's coming out right now. It was unreal. And this is the third or fourth year. I think the fourth year we've done Next Top Comic. And it was the best year by far. And not to take anything away from the other years. They're all great too, but it just keeps getting better and better.
I saw at Second City for the Just for Laughs 42 Toronto, which is for Just for Laughs 42 here is amazing. It's amazing. But I saw packed house Second City and the talent. Like, I was so impressed.
It was a good lineup. We had John Bueller from Vancouver, who's a straight up killer. He's one of the best comics in the country. Alan Cho from Calgary, and that's my favorite thing about the contest, or the competition rather. I'd never heard of Alan, right? And I've been around for a while, and he's only been around for a couple years now, and holy shit, that guy's really funny.
Yeah, he had a good
It's
set.
really fun watching somebody I'd never seen before. I saw him for the first time at Broken City in Calgary. It's where we did our prelims there. James Moore runs an amazing room, Comedy Monday nights. You got to stop by and do it if you're in Calgary. If you're a comic, it's a rite of passage. You drop by that room, and seeing Alan Cho just blew my mind. Like, who is this guy? It's the best.
You went all over
Yeah, we went to Halifax, Montreal, Kitchener, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver.
What, you guys take like the John Madden travel tour bus, or what?
No tour bus. We flew. We did it in over a couple of weeks. Then the flooding messed with us for a bit, so we had a holding pattern in Vancouver. Right. Had a nice 4-day vacation in Vancouver in the midst of the tour.
Were you in and out of every city? Like, would you fly in?
Yeah, it was pretty in and out. I would be in a city for the most for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just strictly just to go for the stand-up.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like 7 consecutive days, because the way we wanted to book it was in order to make sure, like, you noticed, right? We got really good talent for this.
Yeah, it's
One
great.
way you get really good talent is by not having your prelims on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night when all the good comics are working, right?
Oh, right.
So we booked all our shows on Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. There was one Thursday that couldn't be avoided, but we did it over a few weeks, and we got the top talent in Canada. It was unreal. We got Chris Locke in Toronto. Our Toronto show alone that you saw.
Yeah, I saw that. That was incredible. You're the 3 Toronto comedians, or was it the two? How many represented Toronto?
It was 3 per city. Yeah.
Rob and Chris had Rob wasn't. He did the Kitchener room, right? I've never seen him, but he blew that set away. He was tremendous.
Bebenick, he killed that. He did a great job.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. In the Toronto show, I think we had Dave Merhej, Nal Seguin, Chris Robinson, Chris D. Olson, just a real who's who of comedy in the city. And
yeah, it was
the
fantastic.
contest is great.
I think it was at the Rivoli. Paid $5 to get in to see 10 headliners. And
absolutely. And how great is the Rivoli? I mean, the Alt Dot, that's the room that launched the Kids in the Hall, Sean Cullen, so many other people. Mitch Hedberg did that room the same night that Brent Butt did, and he spent most of his set talking about how funny Brent Butt was.
So now is Canada Laughs, is it okay? I want to get in a couple things about like the Canadian, entertainment industry as well. Is it your mandate, like your show, Comic Strip? Is it your mandate to push Canadian talent, or is it everything? Like, how do you?
My show is a talk show.
Yeah.
So I do interview a lot of big name American acts on it.
Oh,
as
do
well.
you?
Yeah.
A phone? Is it a lot of...
No, when I go to festivals, when they come to town. I mean,
Right.
I've had Cheech and Chong, I've had the cast of Family Guy, like Andy Richter, Tim Meadows.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good gig.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to
Yeah.
do, you know?
So now you're at the bottom. You got me. Deal with that. But yeah, it's a good time. So I'd say it's like 20% American comics and 80% Canadian comics on my show.
So you travel, you know, for obviously you're a stand-up comedian, you're a headliner, but you do a lot of shows North America. Like, what's your traveling like?
Yeah, I don't really do shows in America because I don't have my paperwork and I don't want to mess with that.
We'll cut that out.
No, whatever. No,
Yeah, okay.
no. I've never done shows in the States.
Never, ever,
No.
not even go to Helium or anything?
No, I've literally never done a show in the States. And I'm not saying that for fear of reprisal from the U.S. government or anything. I've literally never done a show there, and it's something I do want to get on. But I mean, I've been so busy over the last little while just doing this thing at Sirius XM, and
Right.
I'm,
Well, you're okay, because I'm new to this, right? I'm new to the entertainment industry, but you're doing what I want to do. You're working. You're working, whether it's a stand-up or you're doing the radio also acting. I mean, you I don't know if you can talk about some of the stuff you've done.
I've done some commercials. I kind of hate auditioning though.
Yeah.
Auditioning just bothers the shit out of me. You go in there and it's just a big I don't know. I don't begrudge anyone who does it. They're far more patient than me. But like, you go in there for 9:30 audition, they don't take you till 10:15.
Yeah, it is
Then
crazy.
you wait another 20 minutes while they set people up, and then you talk, they reset you. Then the whole 15 minutes ends up taking 3 hours. And when you're a busy person, that's like half your day.
So you do a lot of acting commercials, but you also I saw somewhere you were working on the Tom Green show. What was
Yeah, that was way back when.
that your start into everything?
Kind of. I was working. Well, the first thing I really comedy-wise was I was forced onto the improv team in high school because I was just a smart ass in class, but I wasn't a dick about it, right? I was funny without being funny at anyone's expense.
Right. Yeah.
So it was that whole teacher, I see potential in your kid, and
Right.
I'm gonna make you go on the improv team or detention. So what do you want? So I took improv, and that was a whole year's worth of French Catholic improv.
Where did you grow up?
Ottawa.
Okay.
So that's pretty much detention anyway. Right?
Yeah.
It's horrible. But so then I ended up doing an internship at a place called Lacewood Studios when I was 16. And I ended up sharing a cubicle with Tom Green. And they
That's
produced
sick.
this pilot for CBC. And it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's back when he was on Rogers transitioning to network stuff.
So were you doing stand-up at the time?
Not yet. I was 16 then. And
16 years old?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then the next year, he ended up doing the Comedy Network show, and I
Yeah.
ended up being a production assistant on that. And the year afterwards, I started doing stand-up when I was 18. It's going to be my 15-year anniversary on December 9th.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's
15
crazy.
years, yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And by the time the second season was going, I was already doing stand-up. And I'm so glad. I remember at the wrap party for season 2 on the Comedy Network, the producers were like, Ben, do you want to do stand-up? And I was too new to not know that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, so you did it?
No.
Okay.
Luckily, it never happened.
Okay.
Everybody got too hammered, and they just weren't focused enough for it to happen. Well, fuck, that didn't.
Are you in contact with Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then I message him. He's done my show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
man.
really funny because at the Vancouver Comedy Fest, he was performing there, and I was doing my interviews and hanging out.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and I could tell he was being very polite.
Yeah.
And I was throwing back names and stuff, and then it hit him at one point. He just went, "Oh shit! Shit! I know this guy." And then it was a big funny moment, but yeah.
But he does yucks. Is that when he does when he? I don't know what his whole deal with stand up is now. I don't.
Well, he did stand up years ago, back
Yeah.
when he was like 14, 15 years old. He was doing amateur nights in Ottawa.
Okay.
Him and Phil Giroux from his show and a couple other guys were all hanging out.
Phil used to sit right on his right, right?
Yeah, well, no, that was Glenn. Phil was
that
the
was
guy in the
Glenn.
window.
Okay.
That just laughed and he always had a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And so the story was before they actually got up on stage, they would go and just fuck with the comics every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And like they'd all be sitting in the front row and all like kind of had their head in their hands, and then they would all simultaneously switch to the other hand.
And guys are just eating shit.
Yeah, just to mess with dudes. And then somebody called them on it, and they eventually went up and did it. But yeah, Tom was definitely an inspiration, and he still is. I mean, what he's done is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
He's going to be considered his generation's Kaufman at some point, you know? I mean...
Yeah, it's fine because I know he had the health problems for a while, and he kind of...
But even how he dealt with it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, calling the Cancer Foundation Tom Green's nuts.
Yeah, but he's a comedian. That's the whole point of being a comedian, and that's what I love about this. That's why I'm pursuing this is... you can take anything and make it funny. And it doesn't always come out funny, which sucks. But your goal is obviously to try and...
Well, there's nothing I hate more than comics that hate having to be interesting or funny, like in an interview situation. It's like, come on, man, we called ourselves comedians. We put the onus on ourselves, and we're doing an interview right now. You're trying, like anything you approach publicly, once you call yourself a comedian, I think it's important to be interesting. It's important to be funny, or at least make the effort. I'm not saying start doing your act in the middle of something, right?
Right.
But
be polished material.
Yeah, but be conscious that you're calling yourself an entertainer.
Yeah.
You may not be on stage right now, but you still got to be kind of interesting, I think.
Well, the other thing is, I'm looking at this, short term, long term. But I act as well, and my goal is just someone who's been here 15 years doing something being very successful at it. A lot of people go to the state, whether it's just comedians, actors, dancers. They all move to the States. What's your
dancers?
View? Well, I don't know. You can go to Juilliard. I don't know.
So tired of being looped in with dancers, man.
Dude, I hear all the time these like girls who I talk to. They're going somewhere. Okay, we get the point, people. But yeah, a lot of people, jump ship and go. They
go to America, and I think that it's mostly due. At least I can't speak to the other arts.
Yeah.
But for comedy, it almost seems as though people feel like they got to move there due to a lack of options, right?
Right.
And it would be great to see people move there because they want a new challenge instead of a lack of hope in an industry.
Well, that's what we were talking before we got in the air. One of your Facebook posts a while ago about the CRTC. There's a mandate. If you can get into that, that's a great topic.
Yeah, Bell Media or Bell Globe Media or whatever it's called, the official name, but Bell.
Bell or Roger.
Yeah, Bell bought Astral, their radio empire, and part of the terms of acquisition was that Bell now has to produce or spend $247 million on original Canadian programming over the next 7 years. That's their mandate. I think that works out to like $35.3 million a year if they do it that way.
I'm not good at basic arithmetic.
But yeah, something like that. But yeah, who knows? I mean, they might just lump it all into 2 or 3 years. But the point is, there's a paradigm shift that's happening right now, where hopefully there's going to be a great deal of production coming into the country, whether that means radio, print, web, TV. Probably not film because Bell's not involved with that, but it's exciting. And I mean, when you look at initiatives like Spun Out, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
Spun Out is Dave Foley's new sitcom, which just wrapped shooting in Toronto earlier this year.
Okay.
Multicam, U.S. style shoot, full on shot in front of an audience, like a real deal sitcom.
That's what we need.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not the first one. Harlan Williams' sitcom just came out. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Ryan Belleville's sitcom is the same thing.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, so that's like 3 multicams that have been shot.
He's great, by the way. I saw
Belleville.
Belleville's
he's amazing.
He said he'd actually jump on one time to do this. So I'm like, awesome. But I saw him. I only seen the show once. It was on. It was a rerun in the middle of the night. It was a new episode, but they were just rerunning or whatever it was. But I was dying. He's hilarious.
Belleville's great. Yeah,
I saw him live too. He's fantastic.
He's one. Yeah. He doesn't take a show off, ever.
Yeah.
I've seen him perform in front of hundreds of people. I've seen him perform in front of like 8 people, and he brings it.
Yeah.
And he makes people feel like they've made a good decision coming out to the show.
But now the big thing is someone like yourself, who's obviously, I call you one of the salty vets. You've been around. You know the industry.
Yeah.
You're talking about how you want to help. I don't know. What do you want to do with that? With comedians, with this mandate going on? Like, how do you want to get involved?
I don't know. I want to make some money off it, obviously.
Right, yeah.
That would be goal number one. I don't want to sit here and be like I'm all the most altruistic human being in the world. I want to make some bank off of this, but at the same time, I want to see other people step up and make some money in it too. Because man, in terms of arts, we are the 1%. of artists in terms of funding in Canada. And you look at musicians. I forget what fund it was, but there's another fund created this year for Canadian musicians. It was $45 million in total. That would mean that there's probably in excess of $100 million in funding available to Canadian musicians today.
Yeah.
Right? Give us 1% of that.
There's nothing, is there?
No, there's nothing. If you go up to Canada Council right now and ask them whether or not you can get your show funded, your stand-up show, say I've got a series of shows I want to do, they will say that it does not meet their mandate.
But why? Well, why?
Because nobody's done the paperwork. We haven't had a champion. We haven't had a person in a suit and tie sit down in front of the right people and say, we are the same as musicians. We should be treated the same.
You know what it is? It's almost like, when someone needs to step up, like you said, someone needs to step up and not form a union, but kind of represent like what something like that.
We need some suits and ties to back us up, basically.
But
right?
but where are you going to get that?
They're out there. They're out there. We'll find them. Things are changing. There's too much money to be made off of comedy.
So much.
Well, look at YouTube, man. What are the biggest videos online? It's all funny stuff. And people say, well, Gangnam Style got 1 billion hits, right? Because it's a great song or because it's hilarious that this dude is making a goofy dance?
Exactly.
Right? So does that make Psy better than the Beatles and the Stones? No.
But you know what the funny thing is with that too? Everything you go to, everyone, because, casting directors say funny's money. You watch even movies like Star Trek, this new Star Trek, where they punch up the scripts, obviously. That's what people, it's just that release. It's that release for everyone. And most people are so fucking conservative. It's like they don't know how to laugh sometimes. They don't want to laugh. They don't want to, I don't know, just I don't know. There's just some things that bother me so much.
You have a bad show recently, buddy?
Yeah, no, it's just like with some of the TV stuff I've done, it's like where they're like, we're not ready for that. We're not ready for this stuff yet. But why? This is how people are. It's like I get not cursing on network television stuff like that, but that's what makes HBO so great. It's not real, but it's closer to real than what is on TV. Hidden with stuff. I don't know. It just bothers me sometimes. That's my inner monologue now being audible right now.
That's your rant.
I'm just mad. Because
this is a follow-up to the dancers moving to the States thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I think it's so much easier. Like, I've got involved in this industry in the last year. I was a professional poker player before that. I was just so miserable. And then I go out every night, and if I'm not making people laugh, I'm laughing at other comedians. I'm enjoying my time. And that's how life should be.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. I don't get how people don't live with art. You know what I mean? That's
a great line, man.
Yeah, if it wasn't for this, I'd go fucking nuts. I'd probably be stabby or in a bell tower somewhere.
But
right?
that's what this is. This is, people don't get like what you were talking about. Your writing, you write every day. People don't get, you're writing, you're performing. What the process is not easy. It's not like we're going up there and telling, like the joke is everyone says, we're just going up to tell dick jokes, but people don't understand. It comes like from, every time I write something, I think it's genius, even though it's not even close to being that. But, it's hard work, right?
Oh, it's tons of work. And what people don't realize, too, is the time on the road is boring as shit.
You don't like the travel?
No, not when you're driving to Timmins for 8 hours. Man, I've been there. I drove from, I didn't drive, I was in the back seat. But from Cornwall to Nova Scotia in one day. That was like 18 hours.
I missed that the
That's
most.
not fun.
I went from baseball. I remember going from Winnipeg to Gary, Indiana.
Were you in a car with 3 other people that all were farting and eating hot dogs?
But it was disgusting bus full of just...
Yeah, but that's different. That's different. That's more of a fun time and an adventure. Yeah. This is like, here's a tour when you start off. You're going to go gig with some people you don't know very well. I remember explaining this to my mom, my first tour out west. When she's like, okay, so you're going to get to Calgary. I said, yes. She goes, and you're going to meet a comedian at the airport. I said, yeah. She goes, and you're going to drive to Saskatchewan. I said, yes. She goes, and you're going to come back to Calgary. Yes. And she goes, and you don't know this person. I said, no.
Really? It's just you can pick up a serial killer.
Well, this could just be anyone, right? I mean, but you trust that your booker's got good people for you.
And you got a room with, obviously, this.
Yeah, that's just it, right? So, I mean, you got your teammates. And like my first tour, I got lucky with very nice people. But for all I know, it could have been horrible sociopaths.
Well, you could be it's funny because you could be complete opposites where you gel, but you could also be same personalities where it doesn't gel, too.
Yeah, well, the thing with being on tour, the longer you're on it, like if it's like, I don't do 3 to 6 week tours anymore like I used to.
You used to do 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, man, I go out for like 6 weeks at a time.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, and when you go for 6 weeks, it's like you live in a bubble.
Yeah.
Right? Because if your tour's booked properly, you don't have a lot of downtime. It's about getting to the next gig.
Right.
So you're not watching the news, you're not reading newspapers, you're not really doing anything except focusing on getting to the next gig. And then the fucking world goes by you for a month and a half, and you get back, and everyone's like, "Where have you been, man? How do you not know this?" Like, I've been on the road. It's a separate thing. It's just weird. Like, I've watched the same. I've watched Charlie's Angels in my hotel room fucking 8 dozen times now. Like, I don't know.
But I guess
I've never seen that movie.
Right.
I don't know why I said that.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. That's
right?
Lieberman fucking weighing in.
Ben Miner knows nothing about it, but yet he's very educated on
Lucy
those
Liu.
subjects.
Oh, I love Lucy Liu. That moment in Charlie's Angels, though, where the Cameron Diaz in the commercial,
I've never
she's
seen
wearing
this
the under.
movie.
It was the scene of the commercial, man. That's what sold the thing. Fuck you, you never saw that commercial. She's in her underwear and she's shaking her ass.
I'm sure I've seen that commercial
Fuck
many
you.
a times.
It's burnt into your brain, man. Don't even act like it's not. Look at this guy.
It's
Man.
so funny. I know people whether they're hot or not. I don't know their name. I'm like, whoa, she's hot.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like
Cameron Diaz. You can't put a face to that?
I know who can. Wow, come
Yeah.
on, that's Cameron Diaz. But
Yeah.
I'm like, the few I remember from growing up is like Pam Anderson from Baywatch. And
Yeah.
and,
She was okay. She was good.
and Diaz, she was a Baywatch girl.
Who was that?
Was it who was it? Who was the one?
Carmen Electra.
Electra, yeah.
Yasmin Bleeth.
Yeah.
Alexandra Paul.
That's
the one no one liked.
Yeah, that's bringing me back to that shouldn't be recorded. I was 13. I mean, come on, man. That's like when the good times in life.
David
right?
Hasselhoff, buddy.
That's a wreck of a story, right? But anyways, hey man, I really appreciate you coming in today. This is
thanks for having me,
you're
man.
Awesome. Check Ben Miner out. Canada Laughs comic stripped.
Yeah.
Sirius XM 168.
Boom. Mondays 5:00, and it repeats at, or no, it doesn't. It repeats at midnight, and then there's another episode at 5:30.
He doesn't even know.
And then Saturdays at 7 and 7:30.
Yeah.
There's 2 more episodes.
But check him out as he talks. I don't even know. It's Charlie's Angels and
Charlie's Angels and Dancers and Puppy Dogs and Hair Tips, and we're gonna.
But also follow him on at Ben Miner on Twitter.
Yeah, do that.
Anything else?
No, that's about it, man. Congratulations on doing this, buddy.
Oh man, thanks.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't guys like you, Ali.
There we go.
Thanks a lot. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. We'll see you next week.